All right, welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Coach, the postseason edition. The Governor's Cup is in the books. 10th straight coming back here to Fairbanks. That's got to feel pretty good, Coach.
Yeah, it's a sense of relief, really. You don't want to be the team or the coach that breaks the tradition there, but it was a great win on Friday night, and then Saturday night I thought some big time plays were made at the end of that hockey game, and faced some adversity, being down 1-0, and not being able to find the back of the net, and then a couple guys made a couple big time plays, and it was good to be able to cap that off on Saturday night.
Like we talked about before the home series too, just a few short weeks ago, It all comes down to some of the little things. Then in this case, it was special teams that made a big difference.
Yeah.
Obviously, the power play was on fire all weekend.
Yeah.
Talking about the special teams play and kind of that matchup. Obviously, a lot of penalties on Friday, but Saturday that kind of took some momentum in there to that third period. I think probably confidence inspiring. Is that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, when your power play's clicking and generating momentum, even if it's not scoring, it's still building into the rest of the game, and then all of a sudden when you capitalize on a couple opportunities, I just think it gives everyone a lot of confidence in it. And it's the same thing on the penalty kill. I mean, you have a big kill, or they don't get a lot of chances, or all of a sudden you're building into that next segment of the hockey game, 5-on-5, and I thought special teams were fantastic all weekend. And I mean, hockey's not a complicated game. If you get good goaltending and good special teams, like, you're usually going to come out on top, and that's how it was this weekend. Anton was lights out, and power play gets a couple both nights, and PK was rock solid, and there's the difference in the series.
Yeah, it's, I guess, the shutout, not just this past Friday night and that 4-0 win, but also the previous Saturday against probably one of the best teams in the country, Mankato. Again, probably momentum's kind of building here a little bit. 3 wins in a row going into the postseason. Let's kind of frame Northern Michigan this trip for you coming up here.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking on just the momentum carrying over, I think it's a good when you're playing well towards the end of the season. Now, at the end of the day, everyone resets back to 0-0, and we understand that, so we know it's a new season and a new start. And Northern Michigan's a really talented team, and they have some difference makers with Rockwood and Loggins, and below on the back end, and Tolvanen in net, and they have some star players. But at the end of the day too, you got to beat a really good hockey team in the first round of the WCHA, and it's nice that we're going to an Olympic sheet, and so we're familiar with that. And I think the series that we played last, it was after Christmas break, and Friday we weren't great. Saturday I thought we were pretty good 5-on-5, but again, the difference was special teams. They scored 3 power play goals like that, and that was the end of the hockey game. And we know we got to be more disciplined against them this series.
Yeah, well, of course, one of those power play goals is a 5-on-3 too.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get those difference makers, guys like Loggins blew it. So obviously, blew that night was three goals right there in a row in the third period. But sort of framing this weekend and against Northern, obviously you mentioned the Olympic sheet being a part of it, but their forward play is very much kind of a center ice and also down low. They cycle really well. They utilize their defensemen probably as good as anyone in the league. But are you expecting to kind of see the same thing that we saw against Northern Michigan from them, or kind of still more of a full 200-foot game like we saw against us back here in January?
Yeah, I think they'll continue to play that tough nose or that tough defensive game, but they do it by having the puck offensively a lot. And so for us, we need to make sure that we're making it hard on their D by getting pucks in past them and being able to establish a forecheck and some offensive zone play of our own. And I thought at home we didn't take care of the puck enough, and now all of a sudden they're in their transition game, and like you mentioned, their D are getting involved, and now they have O-zone time, and then we're tired and trying to change, and then we have a bad change. Now they just continue that momentum, and and give credit to them. They have those difference makers in their lineup, and they, when they're rolling and working, it's tough to play against. But for us, it just starts with making sure that we do take care of the puck, and we're not feeding right into their game. And I think if we do that and we stay out of the box, I think we have a good opportunity against them.
Now, putting the focus on us a little bit. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's our guys have been playing pretty well these past 3 games. Trey Van Tier with that big game-winning goal against Mankato. Yep. Kyler Hope getting back involved again, game winner on Saturday. Steven Jandrick, Max Newton continuing their goal-scoring efforts, and Jandrick now breaking the 20-point mark for the year. The roster's been pretty much a score by committee. Basically top to bottom, all 4 lines have got to be successful. You said that before all year long. But who are you looking for to step up this next weekend and kind of round out some scoring for us?
Yeah, obviously we're always, we're always going to have to score by committee. And like you mentioned, it's got to be us. We got to be a 4-line team, and with some guys chipping in. But playoffs, a lot of times it's it's those unsung guys that just kind of come up and step up on some goals. And obviously you have to have your best players still be your best players. But I think for us it's looking at maybe some guys that haven't done that as much. Maybe it's a Troy Van Teeting or Kyler Hope. Maybe it's a Chad Staley, Kyle Marino. I mean, there's just a lot of guys in our lineup that I think can chip in and help us. And when they're playing a game in the offensive zone and they're heavy in the offensive zone, it just feeds into the rest of our group. And it's hard to pinpoint one guy, but I just think it's going to be a group effort, and it has been all year, and don't expect it to change in the playoffs.
Yeah, and even some of the freshman class this year's really been developing into their own. You can't really call them rookies anymore, I guess, at this point in the season. But guys like Justin Young, Sam Ruffin, Chase Ellingson, and Colin Doyle, guys been playing some good minutes. Later on the last half of the season here. Talk about their development so far this year.
Yeah, it's been great. Chase has done a great job. He's had to battle through some adversity. He got a little bit early, and he got it taken away from him in terms of he got a little bit more of a limited role and some limited ice time, and he's done a great job of just sticking with it and continuing to work. And I thought his game's been really good. I thought it's been really complimentary of his line mates. He's been playing with Colton and Kyler over the last couple games and has done a really nice job. And Colin Doyle, I think same type of thing. After Christmas, it's been hard to get him out of the lineup. He's done a lot of little things for us, just a work ethic and Energizer Bunny out there, and has done good on the penalty kill. And Sam's been good all year long. I think he adds a speed element, a skill element, and when he's out there moving his feet and getting inside, he can be a very effective player. And then I think you talked too about some of the guys on the back end too that have done a nice job. Obviously, Chandrick's done a great job on the score sheet and things like that. But it's nice to see too, like a guy like Jake Gresh too. I know wasn't in this weekend, but he's a guy that's come along really nicely for us. And when he's gotten his opportunities, he's done a really nice job too.
Yeah, it's good to hear that the freshmen are obviously a big part of the roster to really kind of fill in some minutes that you might need along the way. You never know, and a guy like Jake Rush might need to come in the lineup and fill a role, especially if someone, knock on wood, gets hurt. You don't want to see that obviously, but having that guy ready to go is really important.
Yeah.
Tell us about the travel plans this weekend. Obviously, you just got back from Anchorage, Saturday night late. I was on that flight, but now you guys are getting ready to leave here. It's Monday, creeping up on 4 o'clock. You guys are about ready to hit the road. Yeah,
a couple hours. We'll be taking off from the Patty Center, but we're going to be flying into Detroit. So we have Fairbanks to Anchorage, Seattle to Detroit. We'll get into Detroit, practice there, and then we'll bus up to Gaylord, Michigan. Which is approaching the Upper Peninsula, not quite, almost UP territory. We'll stay there, get some good rest, sleep in a bit, and then we'll head over to Northern and then get on a normal schedule, and then we'll practice in Marquette that Wednesday evening. And at the end of the day, it's a travel day, it's a long day, but no one feels bad for us. Northern's not going to be sitting there, crying any tears because we got to travel to there. They earned home ice, and so that's what we got to now combat that with, making sure that we get good rest and we're disciplined in, sleep habits and some of the things that we can control on our side to make sure that we're rested for the weekend.
Yeah, I mean the logistics are all a part of it. Unfortunately, with the long trip for us, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. But hopefully, leaving Monday will help out with the rest and get there in solid ground. Well, thanks a lot for your time, Coach. Good luck on the road, and I know we'll be watching from here. And Flow Hockey TV is going to be some, hopefully, some happy Nanook fans coming up here on Sunday or Monday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Britton.
Of course. Go Nucks.